Looks like we are set up. Uh, I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Yeah. So let's go to Lichess and let's take on Ayamaki. I want to challenge him to a game. Uh, let's play 10 plus 3 today. So we're gonna be changing our theme. I don't like any of these themes. This looks like chess 24. This looks good. I mean, it's weird, but it looks good. What do you guys think about this? D4 has been played. Knight f6. Let's just um, piece sets. Let's change to probably this guy's. Yeah, this looks like the Lichess piece set. This is chess.com if I'm not wrong, or no, this is basis. Yeah, this is chess base. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, sure. So we're gonna try knight f3, and in this position I usually play b6 and try to get into some sort of Queen's Indian. That's the position I usually play. I'm trying to get the good piece set, but none of these look good. I mean, like the knight is the defining piece of any piece set, and I can't find anything better than this. But this piece set doesn't really suit this board. This looks more like chess base, so yeah, this okay. I mean, it's fine. No, 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 no. I like this blue ones. Something like this, yes. This looks good. Okay, he's played knight c3. Let's just get into standard Queen's Indian territory. We're going to play bishop b7, and here he's going to play g3, bishop g2, and we're going to play bishop b7, d5. This is, I'm not sure if d5 is a part of Queen's Indian, but let me just castle here. Okay, now in this position we reach right after the opening. We are reaching a position which, let me switch on the slide. No, I think we're good. All right, so we reached this position which looks to be a standard Queen's Indian pawn structure, with the two bishops facing off against each other. And white has good control over e4. Black is also trying to exert control over e4 with this knight and bishop. But if I remember right here, the theory goes d5. The theory goes d5 here, and it's like you just take. The point is like to I can't see it. Like if you take, I take with a knight. I think d5 is fine here, right, guys? Because if white plays e3, I'm just trying to see. What white's point is here. Maybe bishop g5. Yeah, bishop g5 just take on c4, and he's struggling to regain this pawn because the bishop has already been deployed to g2. I'm going to play a6 and b5 and solidify this pawn structure, which is, I'm pretty sure this is not Queen's Indian theory. The Queen's Indian theory here is like, if I remember, something like a4. I remember a4 in some of these alpha 0 lines of Queen's Indian. I usually play these positions, but I play it from the Nimzo, and so people don't like really deploy this pawn structure here. Okay, just takes, and I think I'm almost obliged to take with the knight, no? Yeah, let's just take with the knight. The point is, we have a strong center, and we are okay with this pawn being here because this bishop has been deployed out of c8 to b7, so this diagonal is no longer important for us. And he can do no bishop h3. So I'm just going to play knight bd7 and knight df6, knight d7 and knight df6, and, or should I say knight 7f6, knight 7f6, and we're going to be in a good position, I should say. it's not really concerning for me. Let me just make this full screen so that like we're getting a better view of things here. Knight d7 and uh, knight 7 f6, and if anybody's better, it's black. So I said in the title of the video that it's going to be actively time trouble. Okay, he's taken with the knight. So the question is, if I take with a queen, am I not threatening mate on g2? Because any discovery he'll have to do, it's just hanging mate on g2. So he's going to probably play knight h4. In which case I can't play bishop takes h4 because the queen would be hanging. Let's just take with the bishop just to be safe, and just play knight bd7 and knight f6. Knight d7, knight f6, and if anybody's better, it's white. I think I'm just going to grab some water and I'll be right back. This is useless. Yeah. So it's white's turn to think here because he's kind of lost his initiative a bit. So now here after knight here, knight f6. Okay, he's going to play e4 here. That's the idea. I've allowed e4, but it's fine. I mean, it's a good move, but bishop b7, and then I don't see the point of e4 yet, because black's going to break with c5. If you play e5, I'm going to just play c5 and break down the center. So he's going to play this to try to clamp down on some squares, but after c5, he's really stretching here. Now he has to play d5, and after takes knight f6. It's not really clear how he's defending the d pawn. Maybe he can play knight h4 in that position, because the queen and oh no, then it's just knight takes f6, yeah, and then it's just knight takes d5 because the queen can't take back. Let's play d5, which is fair enough, but in this case I just take. After queen takes, I play bishop c5, and then these two bishops are going to look really dangerous. Or should I just play knight c5? Both the knight and the bishop has more scope than the knight in that case, but somehow I just feel bishop c5 is a better move because it's just tempo. Free tempo, but knight c5, the knight becomes a monster because the knight can get to b3, and it suddenly starts dawning on me that knight c5 might be a better move than bishop c5. Bishop c5, he just like moves the queen, and then I'm struggling to find a good square for my. So knight c. This is a tough choice because knight c5, knight b3 is very natural. Yeah, I think I prefer the bishops on the 7th rank, because the bishop can always get to c5 after the knight goes to b3, whereas the knight can't. So the bishop is not headed to anywhere else. So if I play bishop c5 first, there's no point to it. Whereas here I just take with the a rook, and yeah, the bishop on b7 is a bit loose, but the knight on c5 is protecting it. Here he can play b4 to kick the knight, but that would blunder a fork on b3. Yeah, he's just taken, and I take, and then he's going to probably play b4. But now I have an iron grip over the d file. Bishop e3 is something I kind of don't mind here. The question is whether I can play knight d3 and pick up this pawn. The answer is no, because the knight on f6 saves, but I can obviously play bishop takes f3 and win a pawn here, it looks like. Right? But then I'd be giving him a very strong bishop pair for a single pawn. The bishops on f3 and e3 will then look like monsters compared to. Then I'd have a bishop on f6. I'm not really sure about this. Okay, let's just go for it. If you're not going to go for it in such positions, you're never going to go for it. I could have just gone for the b2 pawn, actually. But yeah, the central pawn like really liberates this bishop and hits the So I got a winning position here, I think, but I got to be really careful. If I just exchange one pair of bishops, I think I'm fine. The knight is a decently powerful piece as well. Because now I'm just going to take on e5 and play bishop f6. Because I hit the bishop with tempo, he has to spend a move moving this bishop. Then I play bishop f6 and get the bishop on this sweet diagonal. So let's just play here, yeah, this I just take on e5, and then I just capture, and then play bishop f6. Oh, no, he's got to move the bishop now, because there's bishop f3. Sorry, there's knight f3 check. Or maybe no, rook takes d8, rook takes d8. Yeah, he's played bishop e2, not disallowing any sort of knight d3 business. But I have bishop f6 in this position. But the knight is I have to admit the knight is a bit stuck. The knight's not the happiest piece in the world right now, but he can somehow get to c4 someday. This is an intense game. I mean, I can play b5 obviously and a6, but they'd be both blundering this pawn. The question is whether I want a broken pawn structure, and if I should go for this. Let's just go bishop c5 and break up this bishop pair, which is looking really irritating to me. Yeah, I just take and then play f4. f4 is a good move. He's asking me where I got for the knight, but the thing is I have this square for the knight. I have knight c6 and then knight d4. He can play rook c1 and annoy me. Rook a c1 and kind of be annoying about it, but then I have rook here, bishop here, rook probably, yeah. This rook c1 is something I should have seen, but now I'm threatening a fork town. This is fork town. This is really, really fork town. If he just moves the bishop, it's knight b3. If he moves bishop here, then rook c8 just saves the pawn. This was a decent resource that I found in the position. The knight's causing all sorts of trouble here. Yeah, I've been in no danger of losing this game for some reason. If anybody's better, it's black. I think people kind of underestimate knights in a way. I don't know why he resigned. He had bishop d1. I mean, like, immediately disallowing knight b3, he can just move rook e1. I have no idea why he resigned. I mean, it's probably not even -2. It's probably -1, right? After knight d4, it's -1 probably. Yeah, -1. This is bishop d1 or something. Bishop d1. There's no knight b3. Okay. This looks like a premature resignation. So we're going to continue the stream because he's not going to continue another game. Let's just go to chess.com. Let's swing over to chess.com and play some games. That's my account for playing Blitz, usually. We got a 10-minute game, and we got d4. Knight f6, c4 e6, knight c3, bishop b4. This is our usual Nimzo setup. If he plays bishop d2, I have b6. If he plays a3, I just take and bishop b7. I would have usually played knight e4, but bishop on d2 can be an annoying piece. Do you people think that these Boltzmann pieces aren't great? Let's just change that. Let's just change that. I don't like the pieces myself. Yeah, I think this is just normal, yeah? Yeah, f3. I hate this move f3. This is a very good move theoretically. And after castles, he's going to play e4, and then I frankly I'm not in time to do anything. I can play d6 to stop e5, but that's about the thing I can do. He played d5, then take knight d7, c5. I don't know. These structures are very complex. You got to break it with c5. He's going to play d5. I'm going to take, and this position it's not really clear who's better. Not really clear. Knight d7, knight e5, rook c8. This is all very logical. c4. So many moves. Or even the knight can get to c4. Becomes a monster. Because then like there's no pawn on b file or e file, so you got to get rid of it with a piece. Knight b4, knight c4, b5, and it's starting to trouble white in this position. The two knights are going to be troublesome. If you play anything to threaten the knight, I'm just going to play. If you play bishop g5, sure, I can play h6, and after that knight e3. This is super irritating, I'm sure. Yeah, bishop c1 because he doesn't want to allow knight e3. Let's consider our options for a minute. The bishop is the worst piece in the board for sure. So let's just play bishop a6 because it clearly now has some scope. And if he castles, then it pins. Yeah. Here you just don't do anything. You just play knight e3 with some tempo, or you don't do anything actually. Get the other knight over to e5. Then we're talking. I think black has just outplayed white already. Queen h4 check is hanging. Knight e5 is hanging. Queen h4, knight g3. I probably shouldn't waste a move on queen h4. I should just play knight e5. So the thing is, people kind of underestimate the power of two knights. This is what two knights can do. Now you got to take on c4. I mean, like, there's no other choice, because if you just play bishop somewhere, I just play knight e5, and then like it's just you can play f4, queen h4, knight g3. I don't know. It's just becoming really irritating for his position. I take black in this position because white's all tied up with this f3, this pawn chain, and the bishop is out of this pawn chain. Queen b3 is a brave move. I think he's planning to meet knight e5 with f4. This is a very brave choice. Queen b3. I mean, I didn't personally see queen b3. Now it's just asking some questions of the bishop. Now this bishop gets liberated with hitting the knight and the queen. Now knight d3 check is hanging in the position. Queen h4, knight g3. Queen h4 with queen f2 ideas, g3, queen f6. This is a very well played game by me, I have to say. He has to play g3. Knight g3 is just blundering several discoveries. Whew. Hanging on by a thread. White is really hanging on by a thread here. Now I can play f5 and rook a e8, probably. This is just attacking masterclass. Yeah, g3 is just almost forced. And the idea was queen f6, right? Queen f6. And then I'm going to take, and then the f3 pawn's going to hang. He's blundered. He's blundered queen f3. Yeah, he has to play knight f4. I think I just take with check first. Have dragged the king out. I think I could just play g5 just to mess with him. This is really brave of me, but I can actually do it. g5. Let's just play g5. This is just a new level of bravery. I don't want to give up this knight because it can come to e5 with check. Pawn takes g5. I take with check. Yeah, bishop takes. I just plan to just take, and this should be checkmate very soon. Yeah, this was probably the best game I've played. Probably. I mean, whew, this was just one for the classics. I think it can't get better than this, so I'm just going to end the stream. I'm just going to end the stream because this was two very well played.